No, I've also got requests from people to say, can you send the link to us once it is done? So we'll send the link in the mailer to everybody. So,
Perfect.
yeah. So should we start now?
Yes, I guess.
So to everyone who's here, welcome to Aspire for Her and to an entrepreneurial event. If you've attended one of our events before, you know that, we bring you, we're all about, ensuring that there are more women in the workforce. That's our vision. In fact, we want an additional 1 million women to join the workforce by 2025. And which is why what we try and do is to bring you a lot of resources that can help in your professional journey as well. So there are workshops, there are events like these where you get to meet women who are doing phenomenal work. We do a lot of cohorts, we do a lot of stuff. What we've tried to do is to build communities and then map women to where they are in their professional journey. So, for example, we have a community called Women in College. This, of course, is an entrepreneurial event, and entrepreneurial is all about women in business. And today we've got two young entrepreneurs, Jenny from our team. She's also the founder of JE. She's going to be hosting this chat with Ria Khattar. I'm sure a lot of you have seen on Shark Tank. Shark Tank has been a huge success. She got funded. We thought this would be a great conversation to understand from Ria how she started the business, what she's doing now, how her Shark Tank experience was. But before we start, I'm going to bring on stage Madhura Dasgupta Sinha, who's our CEO and founder, to talk a little bit more about AFH and our vision. Madhura, over to you. You're on mute.
Thank you so much. I think our community has got information through other means as opposed to the emailer, and they have managed to come in because it was simply, I think it was a very, very interesting event which people didn't want to miss. So a warm welcome to you, Ria, to Aspire for Her. It's my pleasure that today Jenny will be actually doing the session with you because Jenny is not only a young entrepreneur from our community, but she is also currently supporting Aspire for Her, in many different ways. So very, very happy that this could work out. And thank you for making the time for us. To tell you a little bit about Aspire for Her, I was a banker for the past 25 years, started Aspire for Her 2 years ago. We're going to turn 2 years old on March 8th, 2022 on Women's Day. And I basically set up Aspire for Her because I was very disappointed with the gender data emanating from India. I was seeing women's participation in the economy at very minimal levels, coupled ironically with the fact that we had one of the most educated women in the world sitting here in India. So I said someone needs to do something about this problem and attack the issue of declining workforce in the women's participation. And, hence Aspire for Her was set up. So it is my pride and privilege that the entrepreneurial community within Aspire for Her has grown beautifully in the last 6 months. We launched it on 27th of June. So yes, we are just about 7-8 months old. We have crossed 12,000 entrepreneurs who have come and wanted to be part of the mission of building more and more entrepreneurs in India. There are a lot of aspirants over here, which is why they need to hear from people like you, people like Jenny, about what is it being a young entrepreneur, what is it like, what should they do to prepare themselves, and what are the exciting career previews that they can look at from all of you. So I will, introduce Jenny. It is my pleasure to introduce Jenny, who will be your, partner in crime today. And I am going to just give you a little bit of an introduction for her. She is from XLRI, my alma mater as well, an ex-investment banker. Jenny aims at changing the way women shop for clothes in India. She believes that every woman deserves to feel comfortable in her own skin, no matter what her size or shape is. So Jenny is a tech-enabled, Jenny's organization, JE, is a tech-enabled bespoke women's Western wear brand that offers customizable premium clothes in size you, your body, your size. I love that, Jenny. And I'm hoping that we will hear a lot more about it in your conversation today. And over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madhura.
Jenny, just one sec. I'm really sorry. We've lost Ria. She's having
We've
issues.
lost Ria, I think.
So she's just coming back. She's messaged me saying that she's having trouble. So
Sure.
today is one of those days, people.
It's one of those days, right?
When technology says
tech trouble decides to haunt us its own in different ways. But guys, this is very nice because we have really a small, I can see Ria back here again and a bunch of people joining in, but it's a small intimate crowd in the Zoom room here. And I'm hoping that loads of people will be able to see it on our other media. Ria, you're back.
I am so sorry. I don't know what glitch happened. I had to join from another laptop.
Yeah,
No
one
worries.
of those days today.
No worries. We're having our own share of tech trouble today, so we understand perfectly. But that's fine. I was just introducing Jenny, so I hope you got a little bit of that. And if not, she's right here, so she will talk about it. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Madhura, for that introduction. I'm so glad to have this opportunity to be here and be a part of Aspire for Her to begin with. I think what you guys are doing is phenomenal, and I can only think of so many ways that I just want to try and contribute as much as possible. Super happy to be here talking to Ria today. Most of you don't know, and this is the right time to be saying this. I haven't said yet. I did apply for Shark Tank. I did reach the final round, and I got up after that. So, I mean, Ria made it happen. So I think I'm really happy and excited to talk to you today, Ria. And firstly, hearty congratulations on your achievement. I think it's incredible. It's something that we all aim for. I surely did. So it's really happy to have you. I'm not sure if you heard my introduction from Madhura, but I think we'll talk about it as we go.
Sure. Thank you so much, Jenny. It's a pleasure to be here with you and share the same platform. And and definitely next season is there, so you can apply.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long way. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I will start with a small rapid fire for you. I'm going to ask you, you just have to say the first thing that comes in your mind when I say these few words, okay? Quick, in seconds. Shark Tank.
I think a dream come true.
Heart up my sleeves.
My baby.
I feel that. Leader.
I think aspirational.
Team.
Core of your business. I think that's the backbone.
Yeah. Favorite movie?
Titanic. I think it's everybody's favorite.
Nice. Guide, inspiration, mentor.
So I think my customers will be my,
Awesome. Nice. Summer or winter?
Summers, any day.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs, definitely. I love dogs.
Amazing. You're happy to get to know a little more about you, more than what we saw on stage. So Ria, how does it feel to be a celebrity after Shark Tank? Like, how was the whole process for you? How do you feel? Can you share your experience with us?
So I think definitely I wouldn't consider myself a celebrity, right? I think I was just lucky that, I got featured on the platform and received so much love from everybody, around the world. I think that was a great opportunity that, each and every person got on Shark Tank. But definitely wouldn't consider myself a celebrity. I have a long way to go and a lot of learnings that I have to do on this, journey. But I think I just consider myself lucky.
That's amazing. Would you mind sharing a little bit about the whole process? How was it for you? What went right for you? What you think could have been done better? The whole thing.
Sure. So I think I was honestly very lucky that that people were able to, even the sharks were able to, understand what my product was about, because it was a very unique product altogether. And I think I just consider myself lucky that they were able to identify that and, invest in it. So, and apart from that, I think the process was pretty smooth. I mean, it too. So it's a fair process that's there. And there were very limited people who were selected from I think 60,000 plus applications, right? And I think the team and all were very, very helpful, because even for them it was the first time this show was coming into India, right? So it was very, very challenging for everybody, I think. But I think they've done a wonderful job, and this show has come up so beautifully. I think it has inspired a lot of people, a lot of young budding entrepreneurs. I think it's truly been an inspiration for them. And I think because even I wasn't able to see everybody who was there on the show, right? So after I watched all the episodes, I was so inspired, and honestly so thankful for that I got the opportunity to be on the same platform as those people. So I think I just consider myself lucky, and I have a long journey to go, but definitely it has been worth it, and it was a beautiful experience that I've had.
Amazing. I think you're bang on with the kind of concept. I think Shark Tank coming to India, I've heard from so many women say that they make their kids sit and watch Shark Tank because, in between those concepts that they explain, the few concepts that you will never learn otherwise until and unless you're starting up on your own. So that's something that's extremely informative. And I have also watched quite a few episodes, and it amazes me how beautifully the knowledge and entrepreneurship, and I'm sure this thing has started an entrepreneurship wave in India, specifically this series.
After Kaun Banega Crorepati, I think this is one show that has definitely boosted up people's confidence and motivation to do something, right? So this is definitely a change that is taking place.
Amazing. So Ria, we'd love to know your story. You're just 23. You came up with such a unique concept, started it all on your own, got funding. How did you make all of it happen? Tell us your story.
So I think how the brand also started was just an idea that popped into my head while I was cleaning my closet. And I just thought, I think everybody was sitting at home during the pandemic, and they were not spending that much money, but yet they wanted to do something different every day, wanted to try out new stuff, right? Even sitting at home. And that's when I saw a lot of people on social media as well, that they were trying out different stuff with stuff. So that's when I thought that why not there be a product which helps you to save your cost, but experiment and explore your creativity with it at the same time and create multiple outfits. And my sister and I, we were brainstorming what could be that product, and that's how we came up to this. And honestly, I didn't know that it would work out, because it was such a unique product. And the audience, I didn't even know if the audience would understand what the product was, right? But I had to try it. So I just put it out there. I just made a page on Instagram, and just to see how people respond to it. No harm in doing that, right? So I did that, and people really liked it. And I think within a couple of months we grew immensely. So I think that's how it started for me.
Yeah, I totally connect with the point that it's difficult to make people understand what your product is, and probably being in a very similar thing. So we also launched something as Attachable Collars, and I'm sure a few of us have tried it as well. The need of the product, definitely, specifically in the pandemic when people didn't want to take the efforts of dressing up at all. So having such a product like a sleeve or a collar, I think it's something that's extremely unique, and people don't accept it till they have it. Once they have it, they know how amazing it is. So I think,
and I think it's definitely like a revolutionary product altogether, because it's just from one pair of clothing you're making at least 100 or 200 out of it. So I think in the long run, people will also understand the importance of sustainability, right? And I'm sure they do understand it right now as well, but I think going forward it's going to be a very, very big thing, and people will realize how important it is for sustainable fashion and sustainability going ahead.
True. Less is more. I think this is something that holds up that concept really well. You are the sole founder of your venture, right? How easy or difficult has it been to handle all of it alone, handle a team? Do you have a team? How does it, how has it been working?
So my sister and I actually, wore a part of my sleeves, and it's honestly, it is difficult to, start a business so young. There are a lot of things that you need to understand how, things work as well. But I think I've been lucky that I have, a supporting family in this. I think I mentioned on the show as well that my dad has been into this, industry for quite some time now. So I think I do understand, the nitty gritties of the whole process. But of course, every day is a learning, process for me. And I think for the longest time, I want to keep saying this. Every day I want to learn and grow, right? And that's what keeps me going as well.
That's what I think starting up early also helps us, right? Like you probably don't know anything when you're starting, and you just have to learn a lot of things from scratch. And understanding and it really I would say it's a journey. Every day is a different journey altogether.
Definitely. I think you get to learn a lot from your colleagues, your peers, your networks. There is a lot of learnings that happen on a daily basis, right? Which is, I think, very good if you want to keep growing.
Right. Did you never think of starting a job or just experiencing taking some work ex for like 4-5 years, then starting? That's the general trend, right? That's what people like usually prefer.
Right. So I was working, but as soon as I figured out that this is the problem that I need to solve, I just thought that why not, start this out, right? So I just thought it's the right time to solve this problem, and why not when I'm 23.
And I think COVID is the best time for something like this, right? I mean, people learn to accept products like these only when they know that they don't want to get up and dress up. So yeah.
So I think COVID had its, pros and cons, but I think I would consider this as a motivation, because people were sitting at home and they were very, very active on social media, right? So they were aware of all the trends that were going on in the market. So I think that really helped me, and heart of my sleeves as well.
And the best part is, and before when I knew I had to speak to you, I went out, I checked your portfolio, I checked Instagram. COVID was the time when the influencer market had a boom, and people got to know about them. People followed influencers like anything, and probably you managed to tap that market right at the perfect time when it was booming. That's when you managed to get a lot of influencers. Tell us a little more about how did you reach out to them? How did you make them pitch to them, make them try it? And because it's not small, like you have influencers like Komal Pandey and the biggest ones on your portfolio. So how did you make that possible?
So I think the product is so unique, and that's when I reached out to these influencers, they instantly they connected with the product, right? Because it was so new, it was so challenging, and they also thought that it would be so nice for their audience to see this kind of product, and how you can experiment and play with it. So I think that really gave me an advantage to get an edge over them. And I think willingly they chose to post about it and create content around it. So I think I got a little lucky there. And that's how it grew so fast.
So you reached out to them on your own, messaging them on their handles, because I attended another entrepreneurial session with Deepika, where I think people find it a challenge to reach out to more and more people, how to make people try your product. So did you reach out to them on Instagram? Did you go to an agency? Like, how did you manage to directly? Because obviously these people get so many different requests, and it's impossible for them to open each and every message. That's why most people, struggle with it.
I think so I wasn't in touch with any agency for this. I had reached out to them on my own itself, sending emails on a daily basis, sending them, messages on Instagram. So I think I had, made it a task in my daily, routine as well, that I have to do this on a daily basis, so that, even if I message like so many people, I used to get 1 or 2 replies, like in the beginning. So I think that would really boost up my confidence. Every day I used to send out messages, and then, I used to get replies. I just used to be very, very inspired by that and motivated to, keep doing that.
Super. So consistency, you consistently kept reaching out to them, that made that one day you did receive some responses that made it happen.
Okay.
Amazing. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So how big a team do you handle? How many people do you have? What jobs do they do? How did you go about hiring them?
So right now we have a pretty small team, but we're of course in the expansion phase, and we're looking to hire a lot of people in this particular year. So I think going forward there could be a lot of hiring, but I think hiring for your own company is the most difficult task because you're so many little things, and you tend to find the right candidate for your company. But I think it's also important to understand that people who think differently from you are also important to be in the business. I think that's something that I'm going to keep in mind going forward as well, that you should also hire people who think very differently from how you see your company, right? So I think that's also important in the long run.
No, I wanted to say something here, and Ria, you're truly mature beyond your years, because if you're thinking now of hiring people who are very different from you, it's wonderful that you're thinking like this. It's very important, but I've seen many professionals after many years of working haven't really managed to get this concept right. And I'm so happy to see a lot of our mentors here as well. We have Rahel Padamsi here, listening into this conversation. So big hi to you.
Soumya was also here.
Soumya is also here. I've seen Soumya as well. Hi, Soumya.
Hi, Madhura.
Hello. So I just thought I'll say hi to you guys.
Thank you so much. And Ria, it's amazing to see you here. And I have watched your Shark Tank live. So it's like really motivating for us also. Thanks, Madhura and Deepika, making it happen. And Ginny, great going.
Thank you, Soumya. And a big hi to Rahel as well. I can see her picture there. And sorry, please continue, Jenny. I hijacked your show, and back to you.
No problem. Just sorry. Yeah. Amazing. I truly agree with Madhura. The statement that you made, that is important to hire people who think differently. They add perspectives, and even if you necessarily don't agree with what they say, I think it's best for your own growth. I think this is something that is truly important, and not a lot of people understand it so early. So hats off to you for that. You had said on the show that you managed to get 1,000 orders in 9 months. I mean, that is a huge I would say achievement. What was your strategy to capture your customer base? Was it only Instagram, or did you do anything else? How did you capture a lot of those people?
So I think it was only Instagram, right? And I think each and every entrepreneur cannot be good at everything that they can't be good at every function, right? So even I wasn't, right? I mean, I was aware about social media and all. That's how far, I knew about things. But it's also important to get people who are good at other things in your business, right? So that's when I got support from my family as well. They helped me a lot in understanding how it works. And I think in the beginning, we only focused on Instagram as a platform. I think our crucial factor was influencer marketing, right? And that really helped us getting the right kind of customers and the potential buying customers. I think whenever influencers used to post content, the audience used to engage like immediately and relate to the product. And I think the pricing and pricing is also so on point that people are not hesitant in buying and trying out a pair of sleeves, right? So that really helped us, and that really helped us achieve this kind of number. And I think we have a very long way to go.
Definitely. That's amazing. I think I will have to take 2 minutes here. I'm getting a very urgent call since some time. I'm really sorry. Deepika, I'm just coming in 1 minute. I'll just attend the call. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. In fact, I have a couple of questions as well. Madhura, you were saying something?
No, you continue. I'll
Okay.
jump in after that.
I actually wanted to go back to the Shark Tank. So a couple of questions on business as well as Shark Tank. When I saw your episode, I think I had jumped in from between somewhere. So I think yours was the first. I saw it on YouTube. Yours was the first episode I saw, Ria. And I saw a lot of spunk and I saw a lot of confidence. Which for someone as young as you who's sitting in front of entrepreneurs who raised a lot of funds, who talked about in the news all the time, so a lot of people have a lot of difficulty doing that. I see a lot of people not being able to talk about their ideas, not being able to. So I want you to share one tip when you were up there. What made you? Where did all that confidence and that spunk and that beautiful presentation, come from? Because people have difficulty speaking in public. Yeah.
Correct. So I think as far as you're aware of what's happening in your company and what product you're, talking about in front of people, I think it's a good way to go, good way to start, right? If you're aware about everything in your company, from production to operations to sales to marketing, I think it shouldn't be that hard to present yourself and talk about that in front of a lot of people. I think first would be that. Second would be, because I have actually I am a singer, so I've always performed on stage. So I have never been so hesitant, performing or talking about in front of people. So I think that also gave me the right kind of confidence. And thirdly, I think my family, I think they've always, I think they've brought me up like that, and they've always motivated and pushed me to be that confident person and believe in myself. So I think that's really helped me get this far, and help me also present myself in front of these big inspirational people who have built these companies.
Awesome. That's really nice. What was the inflection point for you? In the sense that when you start, I remember you also saying, and even now you said you started this, on a whim,
Yeah.
So what was the inflection? Because, starting it on a whim and then landing up on Shark Tank is like a huge journey, a lot of growth. So what was the inflection point? At what point did you think that this was like a side hustle or something you've just started? At what point did it become a business? And what did you do then?
So I think when I started out, I honestly didn't have any idea it would go this big, right? Because I wasn't sure if people would even understand the product, because it was so new, and there is a challenge for people to understand. Specifically in the Indian market, it's very difficult for people to adapt to this kind of product, right? Because they're not used to it, they're not aware. So they have a lot of questions, a lot of judgments, a lot of queries that they bring up to you. So I think in the beginning I had to answer all of those queries. I had to be in constant touch with all the customers that were there, just to explain them how the product works, right? So I think that really helped in growing the business, right? And I think post that, when the first influencer that posted for us, that was Nikki Mera, right? So that video went viral. So I honestly, that day I remember I was having dinner and my phone just wouldn't stop ringing. I mean, I got at least 200, 300 messages saying that I want to buy this product. And I was so shook that time that I didn't even know what was happening. And then, I realized the power of social media and what it does. I think that's when it started. The journey of heart of my sleeves, when it started from a side hustle to a proper business. So I think that's the day when I realized that, okay, people are really connecting to this product and I really need to expand this and make it big. And I think mostly after seeing people experiment, with the product in such new and different ways, I think it really motivated me to, work harder. Because I couldn't even imagine in my wildest dreams that, people are pairing this product on their legs and, they're just exploring their creativity with it. So it was so inspiring for me to see that. And, it really helped me push, to work harder. So I think that's when I realized that I wanted to make it big. And of course, Shark Tank happened. So that was a very, lucky opportunity that I got. And I think we cleared all the rounds and reached to the final rounds. I think even presenting in front of the Sharks, it was such a big deal and an honor to, just represent your brand in front of them. I think that was the highlight of, my career so far. Even if there was no funding, even if I would have, just presented, I would have been the happiest person.
I'll just ask one last question, Jenny. I'm just very keen to ask this. You started this at a very young age, and up till now, it's been the way you want to do it, right? And but now you have investors. So
Right.
I want to understand, what does it feel like when you have, are they mentors, or do you look at them, or do you feel now my way of working, I'll have other people. So it's an entrepreneurial challenge because this is your baby, like you said, and you want to raise it in a certain way. But now you have people with money. So how do you deal with that and how do you tackle that?
So I think the investors that I have on board, they really understand what, I'm aiming for the company as well. I think they're not someone who will just invest and just, be out of it. They are here to help me, and they do help me a lot in understanding, how you can grow the brand so fast, because I don't have that expertise, right? But they have built so many brands, and they are aware of how it actually happens. So I think that's really helpful for me to, it'll be very helpful in the long run as well to scale up so quickly. And it's not like, I'll have to change my perspective of the brand because of them, right? Because they do understand. I mean, when I have a conversation with them, they do understand what kind of plans that I have in the coming years, and they really support that. And supporting that, they give me suggestions, how we can scale it up. So I think it's very helpful. It's not challenging, I would feel, so far, but it's a learning journey, because even going forward, I'm going to learn so many things from them. So I'm definitely excited.
Awesome. I like your attitude a lot. Yeah. Over to you, Jenny.
No, I mean that's really music to ears, and I think that's what Soumya is also saying. Because we usually hear that life changes a lot after you get investment, because there is someone scrutinizing every step or every move that you make. But like having this attitude and making getting the best out of what they teach you, and with their experience, I'm sure it will your goals plus their experience together will be a great synergy to go ahead. And you have really made a lot of entrepreneurs who see this dream, and you exactly make that happen. And like Deepika was rightly saying, their attitude of always wanting to learn from every day is something that everyone should have that attitude if they want to start something. Yeah. So this is a very bookish question, but I still like to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So I think you'll see, Heart of My Sleeves on every, e-commerce platform that is out there. And definitely, we're going to make it big. We're going to promote sustainability. We're going to promote women, artisans as well, right? So going forward, we see that for Heart of My Sleeves as a brand, I think more than, numbers, I think this is something that, will bring a revolution for everybody. So women empowerment, it is.
I'm very intrigued. When I was watching your Shark Tank show, Aman Gupta had suggested that you change your brand name, right? Mm-hmm. What are your plans around that? Like, are you planning to do something like that?
Yes, so we are actually planning to do that, and that will happen soon. But stay tuned on the new name.
I hope. Amazing. I think we're all very excited to see what it unfolds to be. Okay. I think that's about it from my end. Let's open the stage for questions from everyone. Let's wait for a few questions.
I think I had a question before anyone else jumps in, and I found the concept very, very unique. And you mentioned that there are people who are also creatively using the sleeves in different ways. So do you want to sort of, keep yourself confined to this space only, or, do you want to actually look at something different? Do you want to look at something at a broader scale? How do you sort of, because in a very from a very business oriented space, if I'm a person and I buy your sleeves, I will use it creatively up to a certain point in time, beyond which, I will not, maybe, I don't know, but maybe I will not go on buying one, every month or every 2 months. So how do you sort of work on that balance, and how do you see yourself also expanding in that space?
Correct. So I think, you rightly said that, a person wouldn't buy sleeves every month, right? Which I get. But I think going forward, we'll be focusing on a lot on detachable products altogether, right? How it can enhance your product. So even with Indian wear, people who don't want to buy such expensive lehengas and, every time they go for a wedding, if you could just add something to your outfit and it can just enhance quickly, I think people would opt for that option in the long run. Right. So that is the kind of concept that we're also bringing, and with the kind of market that we're targeting as well, right? People who want, and I think it's with every woman out there, they want to wear something new every time they go out, right? Nobody likes to repeat their clothes. So this is something that we're targeting, and hopefully we'll be able to cater a larger audience with this kind of concept. So not only with sleeves, but a lot of different products that we have in mind going forward.
This is brilliant. Yeah, very, very nice. So you're essentially tapping into that inherent wish of every woman, every person actually, that I don't want to be seen in the same clothes, and I would like to wear something new at every new occasion that I'm seen in. That's very, very nice. Very, very nice. Really proud of you, Ria. I mean, I think at this age to come up with a completely new strategy like this, and to have these sorts of dreams and plans, is amazing. So my question is done. So I'll open it up to everybody else.
She's really solving the complaint that all we women have, that I have nothing to wear. We won't complain about that anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was just thinking of that. At a very basic level, she's solving that very, very deep problem, which is there, and none of us like to talk about it, but it's very much there.
So another question from my side. What were the major challenges that you faced in your journey to be like the 9 months or 1 year of your journey? And what were the biggest mistakes that you made and you learned?
I think challenges would be obviously the product was so new, so it was very difficult in the beginning to make the customers understand what is the value of the product, what it can do and how it can change your life entirely, right? So I think in the beginning that was a very, very big challenge that we had to face. But I think slowly and steadily, when people try to understand how it helps, because we got a lot of messages from women who were saying that it really helped, because people who are a little healthy, they don't want to wear sleeveless clothes, right? They feel conscious of their arms, and as and when they realize that this product can help them wear sleeveless clothes, but they can add like a sleeve and cover their arms and be confident, right? Because it helped them and make them happy. So I think these kind of messages also helped us so much to understand that people are actually liking this product. And in terms of COVID, I think that would be the biggest challenge in our career. We were a COVID born business, right? And people who were not going out wouldn't want to shop so much. Right? So that was definitely a challenge, I think. And a lot of um costs were increased, fabric costs were increased during COVID, a lot of labor costs were increased during COVID. So these were some of the challenges that were there, which we couldn't help but just bear with it, right? And we had to support as well. But I think we have overcome that, and we're in a very good space now, and hopefully we're going to make it big.
Wow. There is one question from Mansi Mittal. What were the areas that you had to learn besides product development to develop the business?
Okay. So I think everything. I think it starts from sales to marketing to, sitting in the factory to see how the product is being made, doing quality checks. I think I've done everything, and I still do it. And I don't have any shame saying that it's my business, it's my company. Every day I also see, which orders are getting dispatched on a daily basis. I do a QC check. I also do all these things, and I think it's a learning process. Like I said, every day is a learning journey, and I get to learn so much, interacting with new people as well. I think I'm also going to take a lot of, learnings from this session that I have with you guys. So I think it's a learning journey every day for me, and I get to learn a lot of new things. And I think I've also learned a lot of strategies within marketing, digital marketing, how to, get an edge over that. I don't think we would have done that 5 to 6 years back, but I think now people are, so driven by social media and, digital marketing. So that is something that, I had to understand and learn as well for my business to grow. So I think you really need to understand what kind of um, requirements that you have in your business and adapt accordingly.
Amazing.
I have a question. Oh yeah, Soumya, go ahead. I've asked too many questions. I'll ask after Soumya. Soumya?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, it is really inspirational. I have one question actually. Are you like, design person, or in this whole process, what is that actually you really enjoy doing it? Like, is it actually your execution is your strength, or is your design is your strength?
So I think in terms of designing, I don't have a design background, right? But I have been brought up in a family where, everybody is so passionate about fashion, and, and especially when you're born and brought up in Delhi, I think it comes from within. So I think it's very, very helpful that, my mom and dad, they've also been in this kind of space for a long time. And, my mom has been very supportive on the designs, and, she helps a lot with designing part. But I also have to take on each different hat every day, right? So some days I have to focus more on creativity, some days I have to, guide my team and be the leader. Sometimes, I have to be on the ground level and do stuff on my own. So I think it depends on day to day which task that I need to do. But yeah, like I said, it's a learning journey for me as well. And, it's very helpful for me to grow as a person on a daily basis.
Yeah, follow up to that, actually, it's very important that you have a right team on, getting this stitched and all, right? Because your designs has to really take a shape with those whole team behind the scene. What were actually a challenge? And definitely in this field, right? Like a skill resources are expensive, because to convert your design into the reality, if it could be sleeves or any detachable one, right? How do you manage this, skilled resources, having it, having in your team, and, having that buy-in from them so that they agree to your design, that what you really envision for it, right? It would be actually, you might have some discussions and, even idea from them too. How do you really resolve and make it as a best product?
So I think, even if you see our designs right now, they're very, so if you can literally pair, all these sleeves with any of your basic clothes as well. So I think all these things are, kept into consideration when, we're designing the pieces. I think, of course, there are discussions internally on which designs to be finalized. And, obviously there are these discussions, but, we always come up with a solution to all these kind of, small, problems as well. And I think the key is to communicate with your team with, of course, my family has also been there throughout this journey. So I think it's very important to communicate on a daily basis to understand what are the problems and what are the solutions, right? So I think that would be something that I would say that communication is the key in the long run for a business to grow. And I think that really helps to solve all kind of problems, whether it is production, designing, maybe sales, marketing, anything. I think communication is something that would help in the long run for any business.
Totally agree. Thank you, Ria.
Thank you.
Deepika, you had a question.
Yeah. So I have a question. It's a fun question. I just want to know about something. But before that, we have our team member Richa here. While I ask the question, Richa will also run a poll. It's basically to understand, what better we can do with our events, etc., etc. So it's a poll for the audience, so that we can just keep organizing better and better events for our community. Richa, you can run the poll. And in the meantime, I will ask you this, yeah, everyone can please put in the poll. What happened on the day after the telecast of your episode? What happened? What happened to your Instagram account? What happened to your telephone? I just want to know what happened on the day after the telecast of the episode.
I couldn't even say after. I think the moment it was getting aired, I think my phone just started blasting. And I was sitting with my family, and I got at least more than 1,000 requests on my personal account, and on Heart of My Sleeves, we gained so many followers. I think around 5 to 6,000 followers within like at least 15-20 minutes or half an hour max. And it was so like, it was shocking for me to see this kind of response, and my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Like, I was getting back to back calls, and I just thought, like, what is happening with me? What is wrong? Is this normal? Is this kind of response normal? But I was so happy, to see this kind of response. I think till now, this kind of response is going on. I'm getting calls on a daily basis till now, till date. So I think that is the kind of power that Shark Tank had on my business. And from 11,000 followers, we've grown to a 37,000 followers now. So it has been a huge jump, and I think it's definitely, we've gained a lot of potential customers. And we've also, even apart from customers, I think I would say we've gained a lot of appreciation from people around the world, because it's not only in India that people are seeing this, right? People are seeing this globally, and and even Indians who are living globally, they were so inspired. And the kind of messages, that I've received in the past 2 months, it has been, honestly, I'm grateful to, even have that kind of experience that I've had so far. It's been amazing.
What fun. When Shark Tank was launched, we were all very, we all knew about it, and we were all wondering, is it going to be an elite, very CNBC kind of show? Or on hindsight, I think they've done a brilliant job. They brought entrepreneurship to, like, my mom loves the show. So she would be rooting for participants and saying, isko milna chahiye paise, and all of that, So yeah, it's actually been very interesting to see. I remember, because on your show, someone has said, someone had asked you how many followers you have on Instagram, and you'd said 11,000. And now I see 37. Yeah. Awesome. Brilliant. I think it's more than that. It's been so inspirational for budding entrepreneurs. Like, so many people have reached out to me, asking for help, and I'm just like, I'm so young, how can I help you? Even I have just started, but I'm so lucky that I could even share, or inspire people in starting something out. So I think that's definitely there. And not only me, I think everybody who came on Shark Tank, they have inspired so many people out there to start something. Even young people who are in college, a lot of colleges are, taking this up so strongly now. They're introducing this kind of concept, and they're motivating their students to, start entrepreneurship, or talk about entrepreneurship, which is so motivational for young people out there. So I think it's brilliant that there is a revolution of change that's happening within India. And I think you must have seen on Shark Tank that people are coming from such small towns as well, and people who are 70 or 60 plus, they're also starting a business out there. So honestly, it's inspirational, and I think there is no age to be an entrepreneur. I think if you're solving the right kind of problem at any age, you're good to go.
I just love this conversation and her connection, really, right?
The best example of this was also Falguni Nair, who started at the age of 50, and she came on our platform as well. So, right, I mean, there's absolutely no age.
Yeah, and we have Anuradha here, and Anuradha actually coined the term entrepreneur. So when I was listening to you, especially after listening to Deepika's question, that what happened after Shark Tank, and I was just thinking that this is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful outpouring of her joy and her confidence and her enthusiasm, that this is something that we will use to inspire all our community members. We have more than 120,000 community members. As I mentioned, our entrepreneurial community is a very special part of that. But the overall community, we want more and more girls to feel excited about startups, and we have a lot of colleges that actually come to us with exactly what you said. They ask us as to how do we inspire young women to look at startups as a viable career option. So a lot of our colleagues are here, and some of them work very actively with colleges. I'm sure they're just waiting for this to get over so that we can talk to you and say, how would you like to inspire women across our college community, people who are undecided, to say entrepreneurship is such a great place to be in, and just go ahead and do that. So yes, so sorry I butted in, but I guess there are some more questions. So Jenny, Deepika, back to you.
We're waiting if there are any other questions. And meanwhile,
I can ask.
Yeah. There are so many questions that are coming in my mind.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jenny. Go ahead.
No, I have to, if you had something, please.
I have. Actually, one of our young team members, she's called Yashasvi. She's a very bright young girl. She had asked this question as an audience question for Falguni Nair. And it's a question I want to ask you as well. Very interesting question. She said that, when you turn entrepreneur, you make up your mind to do one thing for a very long time, right? So in a job, you can shift, you can move companies, you can move roles. But with an entrepreneurship, you're wedded to that for many, many, many years, hopefully. How does that make you feel? That's a choice. So how does that make you feel?
So I think in a job, you're doing what you're told to be do, right? But as in when you become an entrepreneur, you're running the business, right? And you're running a business which you're very, very passionate about, right? People do jobs to, of course, earn money and, settle in life. But I think being an entrepreneur is challenging. Of course, it's you're starting out, you're missing out on a stable job, right? But you're starting out, you're solving a problem out there. You have an advantage to run that business. And plus you're passionate about what you're doing. So I think passion is something that is important. If you're not passionate about something, you won't be able to, sustain it for a long time, right? But if you're passionate about the kind of problem that you're solving, I think it's good. And I think I am passionate about what I'm doing. So, probably going to do it for a very long time.
Nice.
I think another answer to this is, Deepika, we're never doing one thing. We're just doing a lot of things every day. So we don't sign up for just building a product. We sign up for marketing. We sign up for hiring. I'm sure Madhura is still taking interviews and hiring people every day. We sign up for sales. We sign up for speaking to people. So I mean, sky is the limit when you have to do things. So I think it's never, for me also in my entrepreneurial journey, it's never been a dull day or a boring day when I'm thinking, no, I can't do this again and again. Because every day there's something new to do, always. And I'm sure it's going to continue for the longest time.
Definitely.
So absolutely resonate with you, Jenny and Riya, that, it is absolute. Every day is a new day. And for me to start at the age of 50 was something that was quite difficult, right? Because I was used to a certain way of corporate life. And it is so amazing to be part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, which is so alive and so passionate. And, everybody brings in something new to it. Very unlike, I wouldn't call it boring, but a very staid and a predictable paths. But great question, Deepika. I think, Yashasvi probably was considering her own options when she asked this.
I think we're almost near 6 p.m. It's just 2 minutes. We can take one last question if anybody has, and then we can wrap up for the day. Anyone? Deepika, I'm sure you have more questions. So in case
I'm waiting for the audience. But it was lovely chatting with you there. I think this is a brilliant, lovely, very nice conversation.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
much. It's been wonderful, being here and, talking about this, and maybe, I'll be able to inspire more people, hopefully.
No, absolutely. We would like you to keep doing that. So, as you know, and I know, Deepika, you maybe have a question, so you can ask that, and then then I can sort of say what I want to say. But I do want to end on that note. So I'll
Sure. Go ahead, Madhura, please.
no, but you can
Yeah.
you can ask, and then
I'm done.
okay,
I'm done.
perfect. So yeah, it is 1 minute to go. So the concept of entrepreneurial that we have here, we are trying to make it as inclusive and as welcoming as possible. And we're also trying to take away some of the hesitation and some of the fear that comes into stepping into these uncharted waters. So what we like to do is we like to have people like you talk about real stories in your real voice, and so that people do not get intimidated by the concept of entrepreneurial. And we want to really take this across the country, across the globe, if possible. And we'd love to do more of this with you. And we'd love to have you at more of our sessions in different formats. So that's really all that I wanted to say, and wishing you all the very best for Heart Up Your Sleeve. Thank you so much for making the time for us. It was wonderful listening to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. And hopefully, we'll be able to do more sessions like this. And hopefully I'll be able to inspire just a few people, even out of 10, if I'm able to inspire, one people to start out something, I'll be more than happy to do that. So thank you so much for having me here. It has been a pleasure connecting with you guys and having this, platform to talk about this.
Thank you. It was a wonderful conversation and really nice to meet you. And let's cheers to more of this in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny. Wonderful talking to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Ria. Thank you, Jenny. Bye-bye.